Welcome back, soap fans. It's Monday, April 28th, and Days of Our Lives is kicking off the week with fresh starts, emotional crossroads, and a whole lot of romantic friction. We're talking breakups, unexpected chemistry, confessions of love, and the kind of choices that could completely reshape Salem's future. So let's dive in, because today's episode doesn't waste a single scene. We begin Monday, April 28th, with Jada Hunter, standing at the edge of a new chapter, even if she's not quite sure she's ready to turn the page. Her breakup with Rafe Hernandez is still fresh, the emotional aftershocks still rumbling quietly beneath the surface. To the world, Jada appears composed, controlled, business as usual. But behind that composed exterior is a woman who's now navigating a future she didn't see coming. She and Rafe had something that felt stable, something promising. But like so many relationships in Salem, it unraveled, quietly, slowly, painfully. Now Jada is on her own again. Or at least, she thinks she is. Because what she doesn't fully realize yet is that she's not alone in this emotional crossroads. Shawn Brady, familiar with heartbreak of his own, has been in the background, watching, noticing, understanding. Their paths have intersected before, but only recently has that subtle energy between them started to shift. There's a connection forming. It's slow, unspoken, but it's real. Shared pain, shared respect, shared silence that somehow feels like conversation. And now that Jada is single, that quiet spark may have a chance to burn brighter. This isn't about rebound. It's not about convenience. It's about two people who may have been orbiting each other for longer than they realized, finally pulling into each other's gravitational field. So the real question is, can Jada let herself feel again so soon? And will Shawn take the leap from confidant to something more? Salem might just be on the verge of its next unexpected couple, and the chemistry might be stronger than anyone anticipated. Over on the other side of town, Belle Black makes a confession that could change everything, or destroy what little stability she's found. After weeks, maybe even months, of internal struggle, misread signals, and lingering doubts, Belle finally says it: she loves E.J. DiMera. It's a sentence that feels monumental, not because it's romantic, but because it's risky. Because let's not forget who E.J. is. He's magnetic, sophisticated, powerful, but he's also a man with a track record of manipulation. Someone who sees relationships as both emotional bonds and strategic leverage. Someone who knows how to love, but also how to weaponize that love when it suits him. So Belle's confession? It isn't just a moment of vulnerability. It's a gamble. Because loving E.J. means walking a tightrope. One step toward passion, one step toward betrayal. She knows this. She's lived it before. But something about this moment feels different. Feels deeper. Feels like she's finally asking, what if this time it could work? Still, the doubts are impossible to ignore. Is E.J. truly all in? Or is he playing yet another long game, one where Belle is just another queen on the board? And what happens next? Does E.J. rise to meet Belle's emotional honesty? Or does his instinct for control and secrecy end up unraveling this fragile new connection? Either way, Monday's episode leaves us on the edge. Because this love story? It's not soft. It's sharp. It's seductive. And it's one misstep away from turning into a disaster. Tonight in Salem, romance takes a detour, and it might come with collateral damage. Gabby Hernandez and Alex Kuriakis are stepping out for what looks, on paper, like a playful, consequence-free night out. After all, she'd won him in a charity bachelor auction. How serious could it be? But here's the truth: nothing Gabby does is ever just for fun. Underneath her flirty confidence is a calculated strategist, and this so-called date? It's more than a night of dancing, it's a move on the emotional chessboard. Let's not forget, Alex is still tied to Stephanie Johnson. Publicly, emotionally. But in Salem, fidelity is only as strong as your last text message, and Gabby knows how to test boundaries. Is she genuinely curious about Alex? Maybe. Is she trying to make someone else jealous, perhaps JJ Devereaux? Very likely. Or could she be trying to prove a point, that she can still command attention, even from a man who's supposedly spoken for? No matter her intent, one thing is guaranteed: chemistry will fly. Alex, never one to shy away from temptation, may find himself caught in the pull, especially if things with Stephanie are on shaky ground. And Gabby? She'll flirt, tease, provoke, and leave behind just enough confusion to make everyone else question what really happened that night. Will this date ignite something unexpected? Or will it set off a chain reaction of betrayal and jealousy? Whatever it becomes, this isn't just a harmless outing. It's the start of something messier and much harder to undo. Meanwhile, in a rare moment of tenderness amidst Salem's chaos, Tate Black is doing something truly selfless, giving Sophia Choi a night to remember, before everything changes. Prom. A teenage rite of passage. A night of glitter, slow dances, nervous glances, and borrowed tuxes. But for Sophia, it's more than a dance, it's a brief escape from the overwhelming reality looming ahead. Because behind the dress, the smile, and the corsage, Sophia is pregnant. She's facing a future far more adult than her years should demand. And every hour, that future gets closer. But tonight, Tate wants her to feel like a normal teenager again. To laugh, to dance, to forget, for just one night, that she's counting down the days to motherhood. She's hesitant, she's scared, but she says yes. And in that small, powerful yes, we see something deeper: trust. Sophia is letting herself feel joy again, and she's letting Tate be part of that moment. They hit the dance floor. They share real smiles. For a while, it works. But this is Salem, and normal never lasts long. Spoilers suggest that Sophia could go into labor at prom, turning a high school milestone into a night no one will forget. Panic, chaos, emergency, and standing in the middle of it all? Tate, will he freeze? Will he rise to the moment? And most importantly, will this unexpected test bind them closer, or fracture the fragile support system they've built? One thing is certain. What starts as a prom night escape may become the most defining moment of their young lives. Because in a town like Salem, growing up never happens slowly. It happens in a single, life-changing heartbeat. It's a new week in Salem, and already, hearts are shifting, secrets are stirring, and the future feels anything but certain. Let's break down the threads that are quietly unraveling beneath the surface. Jada is stepping into a new chapter. Her relationship with Rafe is over, but her emotional journey is far from done. As she processes the fallout, a new connection with Shawn might be quietly forming, one that could lead to something real, or something even more complicated. Belle Black drops a bombshell of her own, finally confessing her love to EJ DiMera. But in Salem, love is rarely simple, and never without risk. As Belle opens her heart, the question hangs heavy in the air: is she being vulnerable, or setting herself up for heartbreak? Over on the flirtation front, Gabby Hernandez and Alex Kuriakis step into what's supposed to be a light, playful auction date. But nothing is ever innocent with Gabby. Sparks will fly, and so will suspicions. Whether this is about fun, revenge, or a hidden agenda remains to be seen. And finally, young love takes center stage as Tate Black offers Sophia Choi a taste of normal teenage life. Prom night, complete with dancing, laughter, and a temporary escape from the pressure of impending parenthood. But spoilers warn that Sophia's night could end in labor, turning the fairy tale into a real-world crisis. Make no mistake, today's episode is a slow build. It's not a day of explosions or confessions shouted in public. It's a day of small decisions with massive consequences. The kind of episode where every look, every pause, every seemingly harmless moment plants a seed, and next week, those seeds will grow into drama no one can ignore. Let's call it what it is. This is the emotional groundwork. Jada is testing the waters of new love, but still drying off from the storm of her last. Belle is risking her heart on a man known for breaking others. Gabby's playing with fire, and she knows exactly where to fan the flames. And Tate, still just a teenager, is about to step into a very adult situation that could define him forever. This is how Days of Our Lives builds momentum. Not with noise, but with tension, with choices that look small until they aren't. So don't be fooled by how quiet today feels. Because in Salem, calm isn't comfort, it's warning. And by the time the next episode hits, those whispers we heard today? They'll be screaming.